All right. Looks like we are live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of United Way for Southeastern Michigan, What's the Word Wednesday, where we share important and important resources and have vibrant discussions about the topics that matter most to you. My name is Shayla Zimmerman, and today we are joined by four prominent leaders in the food sector to talk all about inclusive and accessible food options. So before we dive in, a few reminders for today's discussion. We hope to have time for a few questions from the audience, so please put your questions in the chat box on Zoom or into the comment section on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook. Closed captions are enabled in Zoom and Facebook Live. To turn them on, please click on the Show Captions button at the bottom of your screen. As we know, food is one of our most basic human needs. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says about 12 to 13% of households across Michigan and in the United States face food insecurity. This means that nearly 13% of families do not know where or when their next meal will be, and they rely on food banks and programs for their next meal. So what happens when you have specific food needs, like you're eating kosher or halal foods, or need a low sugar diet to manage your diabetes? It's important that we understand the true need in our communities and advocate to meet those needs. So I'm pleased to introduce our panelists for today who are working to meet those unique food needs in our communities. I'm going to introduce them in order of establishment date of their organization. So first we're joined by Daniela Mechnikov. Daniela is the Executive Director at Yad Azra. We also have Monica Boomer, Chief Impact Officer at Zaman International. In coordination with 400 partner organizations and 5,000 volunteers, Monica's work is essential to ensuring Zaman has the greatest impact possible. She also has her master's degree in peace studies. Next, we have Angela Wolf. Angela is the Executive Director at Redford Interfaith Relief. She is a Redford Township resident with a passion to serve with dignity and hope. She is also a current board member at the Kindness Rally and Quality of Life Initiative. And last but certainly not least, we have Evan Killingsworth. Evan is our program coordinator at MyGen, previously known as SAGE. His work focuses on providing guidance to the aging and elderly LGBTQ+ population through food resources, social programming, and technology education. He also studied at Wayne State University. Go Warriors! Everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Before we go into our discussion, I'd love for each of you to introduce yourself and your work. Maybe tell us a little bit about the inclusive food options you provide at your organization. Daniela, would you like to get us started?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is, as she said, Daniela. I've been the executive director of Yad Ezra for almost 2.5 years. And I started here as a consultant in communications, marketing, programming, about 3 weeks before the COVID lockdown. So that's how I got to know the organization really well. We have been a food pantry in Metro Detroit since 1990. We are a total choice food pantry, and we offer only kosher food. So there are several things that we do that I think would be interesting to those who are joining us today. First of all, the fact that we offer only kosher food means that anybody can come who keeps kosher or doesn't and find something that's appropriate for them. There's no distinction that feels like a class distinction of any kind. Sometimes within the Jewish community itself, it's interesting. Someone will go to a venue or an event where the food is not kosher, and those who keep kosher are offered something that is separated and marked as kosher. So the people who established Yad Ezra and continuing into today wanted everything here to be accessible to anyone. So nothing that we offer is not kosher. Are my slides available, or should I share them? There we go. We offer what we call culturally relevant foods to our community. We think of that in really two lanes. One is culturally relevant foods Jewishly, because we're feeding now about 5% of the Metro Detroit Jewish community. And there are things, for example, an easy example is challah bread, which is food that's necessary to welcome the Sabbath. It's a particular kind of egg bread. So we offer that to our clients, and Sabbath candles, which aren't food, but they do help for the necessary Sabbath observance traditions. And then we also offer, we have a growing program, a farming program. We farm approximately an acre of land in partnership with Our Lady of La Salette Catholic Church in Berkeley, Michigan. We farm their land that they lend to us, and we grow culturally relevant foods. In that area, a lot of it focuses on the Soviet emigres that we serve. We have many clients that are from the former Soviet Union. So dill, beets, potatoes, things that someone who's food insecure might not spend money on. We offer formula and diapers for people with children under 2 years old, 2 and under, and we offer food for all the Jewish holidays. Our numbers of our clients have increased tremendously since COVID, and when we reopened. We used to serve just under 12,000 individuals in a year, and we're now serving over 15,000 in a year. And I just want to point out that we really serve almost people in almost every city, every corner of Southeast Michigan. And we also have offsites in Ann Arbor and in Flint. I'll stop there because I'm happy to answer more questions later, but I want to give everyone an opportunity to give a bit of an introduction. I think Monica's next. I'm passing the baton.
Thank you so much, Daniela. I appreciate it. Hi, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with all of you today. So as mentioned, I'm the Chief Impact Officer at Zaman International. We're based in Inkster, Michigan, and our mission, if we can go to the next slide, is to empower women and their children to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty through basic needs support, through education, and through workforce development. Next slide, please. So, and you can kind of skip through to the end of this slide, that would be fine. So as we walk with our clients through what we call the Zaman journey, we ensure that at every step that we're pursuing not only cultural competence, but spiritual sensitivity as well. Zaman is not a faith-based organization, but we do prioritize cultural competence and spiritual sensitivity because we know that over the past 4 years alone, approximately 60% of our client families have identified as Middle Eastern or North African. So because of this reality, we are often a trusted referral for refugee resettlement agencies. And we've established Zaman as a place that's open to all women and all families, but has specialized linguistic, cultural, and spiritual supports that we need to serve our clients' needs. Next slide, please. So our basic needs assistance program includes case management. It includes an exclusively halal client choice food pantry. Similar to Yad Ezra, we only serve halal food to be able to care for the majority of our clients in a dignified way. We have a Good Deeds resale shop, which for our clients provides no-cost clothing and houseware selection. And then we have seasonal distributions as well. Right now, as I'm sure many of the people around the table are, we're kind of in the thick of the turkey distributions, but we also have a winter coat drive, holiday gifts for both Christmas and for Eid. And I'd be remiss not to point out that the United Way has provided essential needs grants to us to be able to keep up with and grow our services over the years, even through a near tripling of our client caseload over the past couple of years. Also housed in our basic needs program is Zaman's role in the Meet Up and Eat Up program, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. We began as a sponsor for the program for several sites that required halal meals, and have now grown through our culinary students and our culinary kitchen, which I'll mention in a moment, to be able to be a vendor for the program. So we're providing halal meals for kids who qualify for free lunch during the school year, but need that extra support during the summer. Next slide, please. So United Way has also collaborated with us as we work to open our on-site health clinic in Q1 of 2024. In preparation for this next step, we're currently offering mental health and chronic disease management support groups. And our health programs also emphasize cultural competency through time and language equity as a way to empower our clients. Just 2 more slides, we can go on to the next one. So our BOOST program, it's our education and vocational training program, and it includes literacy, the culinary arts, garment and industrial sewing, and workforce readiness. This program, like all of the others I've mentioned, has been built to meet our students and our clients where they are. So for example, we have expertise in being able to assist immigrants and refugees through ESL programming, through citizenship exam preparation, and other both hard and soft skills that help kind of pave a pathway towards sustainability for them. Additionally, our culinary and sewing classes offer a pathway for English language learners that includes a slower paced curriculum, as well as in-class translators or parapros, and co-enrollment in our ESL program. And last slide. And then finally, our workforce development program offers Department of Labor apprenticeships. It includes on-site employment at Zemans's Bakery and Industrial Sewing Factory. And it also includes, for those who are interested in entrepreneurship, a track that focuses on entrepreneurship. Our team is also there to support our graduates and our clients through career discernment, through job applications, and negotiating with job offers at the next level as well. And from there, I'm going to kick it off to Angela.
Good morning. My name is Angela Wolf. I'm the Executive Director of Redford Interfaith Relief. We, 25 years ago, were created by a coalition of churches to be the center point for those in need in Redford. We are a client choice food pantry, a clothing boutique, and then a connection to resources. And so serving with dignity and hope is our utmost importance. And that is what every decision is based on for us. We offer individuals that are in need very little wait time, as we really don't believe in lines. Kind of think outside the box, because we treat everybody just like you and me the same. They're able to come in and choose their items in our client choice food pantry. So we're able to offer different things in regards to their dietary needs, be it cultural or diabetes or health or anything like that. We work to make sure that we offer the choices that our individuals are in need of. We're based on relationships for everybody that we serve, and so that's how we're able to also know what their food security needs are. We offer a with the help of United Way and grants in the recent years, we have been able to start a homebound senior delivery program and are currently servicing over 30 seniors that way, as well as we have well over 40% of the individuals part of our program are seniors and disabled. And so we really help support them in their food security needs. We also have a clothing boutique, and in the recent time frame of the last couple of years, we've had some amazing grantors allow us to be able to update the inside of our pantry and our clothing room, our whole entire building, so that as individuals walk in, there's a sense of hope and connection, and that's what we're really here for. And so our clothing boutique looks like you're walking into a store. Everything is free, and then we just want to service them to the best of our ability. including connection to the other resources that we have. We offer many different things for the holidays, but everything's on choice. And so, you know, for like the holiday boxes, not everybody wants or will use the certain things, so we allow everybody to choose what they need, and we utilize partnerships with McDonald's or churches and different things for additional holiday needs. And we've been doing this for 25 years. This is our 25th anniversary. And we have grown. We're serving 100 more families than we did this time last year. The need is great. But ultimately, our focus is dignity for all, as well as improving the access to food security in Redford Township. And I'm going to toss it off to Evan.
Thank you so much, and thank you for letting me be here. My name is Evan Killingsworth, and I am representing MyGen. I'm the program coordinator, and our focus is on the aging and elderly LGBTQIA+ population in the 5 counties. Much of our food programs are, you know, focused on, you know, partnering with other people. And so here are 2 of the things that we've kind of are 2 mainstays when it comes to food inclusivity and access. We have our food box service. As you can see, it, you know, it goes out twice a month, and it's run by, you know, our volunteers. They come in and they get the food. I believe it's on a Tuesday, and then go in and drive around, deliver it. And I have some pictures a little bit later on that you can see what's in the food box. But it's a really good opportunity for not just to deliver food to the elderly, which are, you know, like historically underserved, but also to check up on them, to make sure they're okay. You know, just a few questions to let them know that, you know, there are people that are, you know, looking after them, which is definitely something that, especially in the LGBTQIA+ community, is lacking. We also work with the St. Christine's Food Pantry. I'm really excited to show you some of the pictures I took from there, because it really is a situation in which people are going to come in. They need fruits, they need vegetables, they need meats and other products, and they even have things, you know, like diapers, because they partner with multiple other companies and, you know, food related venues to make sure that the options that they have are open and safe, as well as giving back the sense of, you know, power, and giving back the sense of choice that someone that would actually go into one of these situations may feel or is at a loss. And so can I have the next slide? And so these are pictures that I took when I visited there. And as you can see, they have a lot of food. They have a lot of option, and they are open every Tuesday starting at noon. And you can come in, and it's very much like a grocery store feel to it. You go in, you know, knowing what your family needs. You can just take it, move forward, and get what you really are, you know, looking for. And so this is a Focus Hope food box. And, you know, we have some nice pictures of the Focus Hope team, just a view of what comes in the boxes. And these are coming, like I said, twice a month and get dropped off to your homes. And so it's really good opportunity to get the food directly to you without having to arrange for transport or arrange for, you know, maybe a family member to go in there and get there. And now I'm like, wow, I should have put a lot more slides, because everyone really did a really good job. But I like to say that I maybe made it up in the rainbows. So, but yes, that's just my quick spiel about what we do.
You did great, Evan. Thank you. And thank you all so much for being here and sharing your amazing work. I really loved hearing about each of you, how you serve like by empowering folks and giving them a choice and providing different types of food options. So I really appreciate the inclusivity of each of your programs. So moving into our questions, we're heading into some holidays that are really surrounded by food. And so having access to food that meets your need is really critical. So can you share with me more about what it means for you, for food to be inclusive and accessible? Daniela, would you like to get us started?
Certainly. So a part of our mission actually talks about making sure that our clients are able to not only receive food with dignity, but also have what they need to celebrate the holidays. So it's a very focused part of our mission. And we make certain that whatever is an essential food element ritually for holiday is available to our clients. And then additionally, we also try to offer something that's just culturally appropriate and feel good part of the holidays. So it varies from holiday to holiday. We also include the major secular non-religious holidays. So we just did our big kosher turkey giveaway, for example, on Sunday. That's obviously a secular holiday. We also often try to get something that feels good for Independence Day and et cetera, et cetera. The accessibility piece of the holiday food is really, I neglected to mention, before COVID, we used to deliver only to homebound clients, and we used to deliver to about 50 clients a month. And it was a volunteer delivery process that predates me by many, many years. But we currently are delivering to about 30% of our clients. The number just increased tremendously. We never rebounded in the way of having everyone want to come back after COVID. I know everybody has the same story. So for those who work in this industry, in this field, preaching to the choir. For those who are joining us, I don't know what you know, but there's just a huge increase in the number of people that either cannot leave the house to come pick up food like they used to, or don't wish to come and pick up food the way they used to for a huge number of reasons. So that's been a big focus for us since we reopened in March of last year, just because we want to make sure that there are no boundaries to receiving food for those in need. So we have a big delivery program that we didn't used to have, but started in COVID and never totally shut down. So now we operate these two models at once. That includes all holiday foods as well. So I think it's really important when you talk about dignity for people who are food insecure, that the holidays and those key moments that make them feel like they're part of the community are there for them. So we do as much as possible to really build that up for our clients. And I can talk more about it. There are other things we do besides food, but I don't know if anyone else, Monica, or on my flow chart, Monica's next if you want to jump in for a minute so I don't talk too long. I talked too long last time, so I don't know if you can tell I'm being very sensitive to it.
No worries. Thank you so much, Daniela. And I think Zaman and Yad Ezra are very much aligned when it comes to treating the holidays and the whole person as part of what accessibility and what inclusivity means for us. So just really briefly, parallel to Yad Ezra, we also emphasize the importance of, for example, halal turkeys during this season. We have gift distributions that occur both during end of year holidays as well as during Ramadan. And then during the holidays, we also, similar to Yad Ezra, kind of beef up what we're able to give out in terms of culturally and spiritually significant food, things like dates, traditional sweets, additional produce, things like that. I think also our identity is, as all panelists here, of being a client choice pantry is also an essential part of what for us is accessibility and is dignity. And we also ensure, as again, everyone on this panel does, we ensure that the food that we're providing is the highest quality that we can provide. So one of our core values is also dignity. And so led by this, we've made sure that our facility, the food on the shelves, everything just mimics the experience of shopping in a traditional market or store. And so for us, the question isn't, is the food accessible on our shelves? The question is also, is the item that we're offering something that we ourselves would put into our cart if we saw it on the shelf at a grocery store? And then lastly, for us, accessibility also means being a good partner to our friends in the food space. So for example, when we receive non-halal food donations, we're able to give them to other pantries in the local area. And likewise, as an example, I think most panelists may know Mother's Pantry here in Inkster. And they reached out to us last year saying, we're seeing an increase of clients who have halal dietary needs. What can we do to better welcome them into our pantry? So we're always there, both for information sharing and in that case, also for resource sharing with halal meats and other traditional foods. And open it up to anyone else.
Here at Redford Interfaith Relief, we definitely align with exactly what the two of you have talked about. I'm going to spin off a little bit to our homebound seniors, as it's an incredibly important program with us. Not only inside, for those that come to see us, it's over 40% of seniors and disabled in this community, but specifically our homebound, and we allow the choice. We create an order and allow them to choose everything that they bring to them. It's very important to us. But also in regards to the holiday, like I just had a story that just happened because we just did some holiday deliveries and some extra bonus items that we were able to receive. But we had an individual that really truly wasn't sure what they weren't going to have a holiday meal at all. So the senior really just broke down and was incredibly grateful. And as much as sometimes this is really challenging to make sure that we can serve everybody and access to everybody, when you have an individual respond in that manner, it really brings you back into why you do what you do. And that this individual was able to, will have a holiday meal in her home. And you know, we go a little beyond. So for everybody that's able to come into our pantry, we partner with McDonald's in regards to turkeys. One, that's great, and two, we don't have all the space for 300 turkeys right now. But also for our homebounds, we go and purchase smaller turkey breasts because most of them are single person households, and they'll give them the option and opportunity to have a holiday meal, but maybe not so aggressive as a large turkey for them. And just to be able to see the response and be just part of their lives as well for, you know, for delivering the items and making sure that they have the best fresh food available as well. So just wanted to share that little impact story.
So with MyGen, we focus very heavily on inclusivity, in the sense of when inclusivity kind of, you know, when, you know, people might slip through the cracks, like for the community that we specifically serve, they may not even feel comfortable, you know, asking for certain things if they don't know that you know, service is tailored to them, in the sense of, you know, non-gender language, gender affirming terms, things like that. And so it's really interesting to hear what Angela said about, you know, these orders, that they get to order things beyond what the 2 food options that I shared. One of the things that I get to do is call up a lot of our clients, and through DoorDash delivery and DoorDash groceries, I get to go through and actually talk with them, you know, back and forth about certain things that they want. And so knowing that someone else does that is really, really nice. I really like that opportunity. It's really great. And like I said, with inclusivity, we're going there and we're trying to find, you know, our, you know, veteran, you know, movement elders who have been through the 80s, been through those, you know, the AIDS epidemic, and really try and find ways that we can directly serve them. With accessibility. Like I said, our food boxes go directly, to the door, as well as, and like I said, with the there are even certain instances in which a client will call me directly, and with St. Christine's Food Pantry, I'll call ahead and be like, this person has some trouble moving around, so can we get like a specific food box to that opportunity set up, and actually have it so they can move through and actually get that done. And so I actually want to kind of ask Angela, when you're talking with people and stuff like that, do they ever like request like off the wall weird stuff? Because I was on a call and someone asked for a toilet seat, and that was the best thing I heard. I heard that was like the new weird thing to ask. And so I know we're all talking about food, but do you get any toilet seat requests?
I haven't had any toilet seat requests, but we have had different ones. Obviously clothing. We also provide personal care items, and some of our homebound seniors definitely get very specific, and we do our best to try to support that. I don't know if I have any off. It's not the level of toilet seat. So, but we definitely give different ideas and different challenges, and even like the ability to wash clothes too, right? And trying to, if they want a bunch of clothes, but they aren't washing that. So like it's trying to connect the dots for individuals too, outside of what we might normally do. But yes, we had some funny requests. Not to the level of the toilet seat, but
That one's off the wall. I admit that one's off the wall.
I was thinking it might be interesting. I mean, I'm curious about what my colleagues would have to say about what is a challenge in terms of getting culturally relevant and or particular foods. So I'll share just an issue that for us is a challenge that might be interesting to people, is that we have to buy almost all of our food in order to offer kosher food to our clients. So I'm sure Zaman is similar if they're buying all halal only food. I don't know about what you're doing in Redford or MyGen, but I'm interested. I think it might be a little different on the inclusivity side. You focus on the like availability for your clients on that side more. But for us, we have to really buy almost everything because even though we're a partner with, for example, the big food bank Gleaners and Forgotten Harvest, there's extremely limited options for us to purchase stuff at USDA prices. The current presidential administration actually has made an effort with the faith-based position in the USDA, and they're trying to make more stuff that's kosher and halal available. I know, but even the promise of 8 canned items means that the only proteins available are peanut butter and canned salmon. And we offer chicken, and you've heard turkeys and ground beef. We offer kosher chicken nuggets for families with kids who want them, and cheese. And so I'm just interested in that because it makes the model of a food pantry require a tremendous amount of funding beyond what government funding typically offers for food pantry, because the cost of kosher food is also much more expensive because of the cost of what it means to have something be kosher, like on the side of the producers. So I was just throwing that out, wondering if
that's certainly, thank you, Daniela, because I think that's certainly one of our questions too that we had for the panel is like, what are the challenges that you experience as a specialized food pantry? And then where are barriers and gaps in getting food for your clients' needs? So.
I'll be happy to take that, Daniela. Again, we operate in very parallel lanes there. The additional cost of halal food for us, it's a difficult pill to swallow every month, but it's something that is so central to our mission that our CEO always says if everything else goes away at demand, food has to stay. So we are absolutely willing to pay that premium. But I think the cost challenges, of course, affect us as pantries, but also looking at the families that we serve, their assistance programs aren't built to include the added cost of spiritually sensitive or culturally competent foods. So I think there's a deeper need in some cases for the clients that follow halal or kosher diets. For us, kind of the boring side of logistical things is, when we have those huge food drives that get donated to us during the holidays and throughout the year, there's certainly an added degree of volunteer work and staff work that needs to be involved, because you need to not only sort the items, but also ensure that everything is halal or kosher. So that's another challenge. And then I think our uniqueness, and this goes, I'm sure, for Yad Ezra and everyone around the table as well, it makes us a go-to referral for folks like the refugee resettlement agencies that need a source of halal food for their clients. So on one hand, the need tends to skyrocket when we have waves of new immigrants and refugees coming in, but also that's kind of an unpredictable supply and demand for us. There are times where I think in September, we saw 130 new families come through. And then other months it goes back down depending on the evolving needs of the new arrivals. So those are some of the other challenges that we face as well.
Can I ask what specifically goes into halal and kosher food?
Sure. I'll answer kosher, but I'm gonna give you like a very brief explanation, and I'm happy to offer more. But kosher food originates with biblical, actually, restrictions that were the Jewish people have been following for many years. That some people think are because God said this is what you should eat, and some people think it's because there was sort of very early attempts at keeping people healthy in terms of like draining blood from meat so there wouldn't be bacteria, etc., like early health rules. Some of the really well-known tenets of kosher proteins in particular have to do with humane slaughtering, so that which is shared with halal. So there's the animal is killed very, very quickly and doesn't suffer. The blood is drained early, that kind of stuff, and it has to be supervised. Milk and meat can't be combined, dairy and meat, in anything kosher. Many animals are not kosher, and the list of what that is really long. The most common example is that pork and shellfish are not permitted in kosher food. All fresh produce, like all vegetables and fruits, are de facto kosher, but if they're prepared and canned, they have to be supervised and marked kosher to assure that the preparation has been taken care of in a kosher way. And there are symbols on the packaging that connote kosher. My favorite example to tell people about how lots of things that you eat anyway for everybody are kosher is that Oreos are kosher, because I remember when they weren't kosher when I was a little girl. So, check, that's right.
Got it.
Yeah, for halal, in short, it, as Daniela said, the method of slaughter for the meat is of utmost importance. There are other kind of more specifics. For example, a lot of times gelatin is not halal unless it's a vegetarian version of it. But for the most part, we focus on the meat issue and ensuring that it is registered halal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much I think we also got that question in the audience as well. So I appreciate you both for elaborating a little bit more. And since we only have a few more minutes, I do want to ask at least one more question. How does food insecurity impact the people that you serve? So you all serve very diverse communities. Like, how does not having food impact them? And Evan, I think I saw your hand up, so you can answer first.
So, when I first started, working in this space, it didn't really occur to me how much of like a need there was until I got on the call with somebody, and they were telling me that that they were about to spend time just cleaning their refrigerator because it was empty. And that really kind of hit me because I was like, well, we have to like get you like food immediately, but this is a common thing. And I have to admit, I did a little weird budgeting to make sure that we made sure that fridge was full. But he even, but just not even like the human cost of it, but also he was telling me about his dog. And when food was running out, he said his dog was looking at him weird because at a certain point, who's going to be fed first. And so that was a really impactful thing to me. And also, the dog is fine. I did check up on him this year, and he is doing very well. And actually, the person I'm talking about is now volunteering with us on like a regular basis. And so I wanted to give the bit of a somber story, but we're good. He's doing well, and the dog is doing well as well. But yeah, it's very much of an impactful thing.
Thank you for sharing that, Evan. I know that someone in the audience did ask if we provide food for pets as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And says,
Yes.
yes, awesome. Thank you.
Here at Redford Interfaith, we partner both with through Gleaners and through another organization for pet food. It's notorious that individuals will serve their pets food before they will serve themselves. And so it's something that we really find important, as pets are also emotional as we go through challenges in life. And food security, if you're not food secure, that affects everything else in your life. It's a basic human right. And if you do not have the food for yourself, your family, or your pets, the stressors will go down to everything else in your life. And so I'm going to spin kind of off to the one question in regards to needing food in your in the community. Here at Redford Interfaith, we say, if you are in need of food, please come to us, no matter what. And we'd rather you come first. Usually you go to food banks last, but I'd much rather you come to us first. We can help support and supplement your food needs so that the money can go to your other bills, and that you can get to self-sustainability quicker. And so we're trying to change the narrative on that, and we want to open the doors and really have the time frames as well, so accessibility for anybody that is in need of food.
Thank you so much, Angela, for sharing. And I know you mentioned supplement a food need as well. Can you talk just a little bit more about that? Like, what does that look like for families?
For us, and we do encourage those that are able to for a bridge card, and so that we can fully supplement them in addition to what other things that they're able to receive. And that's also people that are in need of like Insure and Boost. We distribute for Wayne County Insure, but we also get donations, and there's other people that aren't able to get on that program that need those type of items, the pet food, the personal care items that anybody with a bridge card has zero access to. We're pretty passionate about that. Toothpaste and soap and trash bags and toilet paper, everything that we have in our household. And if we use it in our households, they are as well. We're the same. And so it's just really important. We try to supplement even things like seasonings and oils and sugars and things that usually food pantries have very limited access to. So that's what we encourage for our food drives, because every single recipe that you ever make has those items. And so we'd like to think outside the box and try to support our families and individuals in that way as well.
Thank you so much, Angela. And thank you all so much for being here and talking about inclusive food. I wish we had more time to talk, to be honest. Just hearing you all talk about the different options you have is so important. So thank you for joining us. Hopefully we can have you on again soon to tell us more. Before we close, I do have a few updates for our audience. So as a reminder for anyone in our community who may be experiencing a need, our 211 helpline remains available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This includes holidays as well. So over the weekend, over this next Thanksgiving, you absolutely can call And it includes resources like food, utility assistance, and much more. I know there was a question about pet food as well. 211 is a good first place to start. We always maintain a running list of available services in the community and can connect you to the support that you need. So you can also look up resources in your area by using our 211 resource database at unitedwaysem.org/211 or just dialing 211. One of the best ways to give back during this time of year is to get involved in the community as a volunteer. United Way's volunteer portal can help. Our online portal lets you search for volunteer opportunities that best match your abilities and interests. It even lets you set up alerts for the types of volunteer projects or organizations that you care most about, similar like the organizations that panel today. So please give back, volunteer this season, and visit unitedwaysem.org/volunteer to get started. And last but not least, we will return in December with a special winter resource series, which includes topics like winter mental health, youth homelessness, and so much more. So please keep an eye on our social media and email newsletter for our next town hall. To stay updated on our upcoming topics and watch replays, please visit unitedwaysem.org/virtual town halls. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And thank you to our production team and panelists for making this town hall happen. We will see you soon. Stay safe and continue to live united. Thank you.